Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a Shop My Stash update for the month of March. Lots of exciting things happened in February. I went to New York for 10 days, which was unreal. So I got to use a lot of these products that were in my basket the last month, and I have a work trip to Texas this month. So lots of traveling. Feel a little bit just overwhelmed and like fatigued from traveling, but you know, I definitely want to make sure and switch up my Shop My Stash baskets and try and make use out of all of the items in my collection. So if you're new here, hi, my name is Vivian. I'm a robotics engineer with a love for all things beauty and makeup related. I love trying new makeup, but I also want to make sure that all of the items in my collection are getting used, getting loved. So if you guys are interested in that type of content, be sure to like and subscribe if you aren't already, and let's just hop into it. Okay, I feel like I look a little bit overexposed. I'm sorry about that. It's kind of getting darker, so the light has been coming like in and out. So just an apology in advance. If you guys are new to my Shop My Stash series, the first half of the video is going through all the products that I picked out last month, and then the second half of the video, which I will leave a timestamp for down below, is going through my collection, picking out some new products. So if you're not really interested in the recap, feel free to skip around. Yeah, I had a lot of stuff picked out last month because of Valentine's Day, because of New York. Probably picked out too much. Even then, I had to like narrow it down last month, and I still ended up with a lot of things. So let's just get into it. The first two things that I picked out were base products. So I picked out my Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation and my Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer, both in the shade 2WO. I wanted both of these because in New York I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to go out, like have more glam moments, and I wanted something that was a little bit more of a higher coverage than my Merit the Minimalistic. So because of that, I chose these two, and I gotta say, I didn't really use them as much as I thought I would. For the most part, we didn't like go out, and even when we did, I didn't really feel the need to wear more makeup, if that makes sense. So I think I used this twice. Both of these twice this past month. I used the concealer a little bit more than the foundation. Just when I was breaking out, I would use the concealer to spot conceal a little bit more. But again, for the most part, I didn't use these as much as I thought I would. These are two of my favorite products in my collection, though. The foundation is one of my all-time favorites for a more fuller coverage look, a more glam look, and then the concealer is also one of my favorites for, again, a higher coverage look. I did like both of them. I'm glad that I had them with me in New York because I wanted that option. I just didn't end up using them as much as I thought I would. As a contour, I had in there my e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the shade Light Medium. I liked this a lot. I've said this a couple of times now. I think I like this more than the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. The Beauty Light Wand in the contour shade. I think the e.l.f. product is much more blendable. It has more of a shade variety as well, so just overall better in my opinion, and way cheaper. So I really liked this. I liked having this in my Shop My Stash. I'm ready to pick out a different product though, but this is a really good product from e.l.f., from the drugstore in general. I had two different blushes, which we had to narrow down from like 5. The first one is the Dior Rosy Glow blush in the shade 001 Pink. I thought this was so perfect for Valentine's Day for New York. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes just in existence. I love the bright pink. There's something about this blush that has just a really pretty glow to it. There's no shimmer in there, but it just leaves everything feeling like ethereal. And also I just think the packaging is really cute as well. I'm a really big fan, and you can see that I've used this so much that like the imprint of the Dior is starting to rub away. So if that doesn't tell you how much I love this blush, I don't know what will. I think it paired really well with my BYO blush oil from Youthforia as well. That's in my project pan right now. Overall, just a really good blush. I used this a ton this past month. The other blush that I put in there is from ColourPop. This is the Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Forever Yours. Again, just a very, very pretty blush. I think it's so perfect for Valentine's Day. It's this cute heart compact. The shade in here looks very bright, but the powder itself isn't super pigmented, so I never felt like I was going too overboard with it. It had a nice mirror in it as well. One of my favorite blushes, and the packaging is just so cute. I thought this was great for February. I pretty much always pull this out around Valentine's Day just because you can't not, you know? It's like the perfect blush for Valentine's Day, and I love the shade of this so much. The next product that I picked out was this from Victoria Beckham Beauty. This is the Lid Luster in the shade Chiffon. I used this a couple of times. I think the formula is starting to dry out. I feel like it's a little bit harder to pick up on my finger. I don't really know if I can fix this, if I can like rehydrate it somehow. I always keep it with the little like lid on there, but I think it's starting to get a little bit old and it's just not really picking up the same. So I don't know. I do like this. I think it's a really pretty eyeshadow topper, but I just feel like it's getting a little bit harder to work with. I'm not sure if I would repurchase it just because I feel like there are others in my collection that are like other eyeshadow toppers in my collection that are just as pretty that aren't as expensive. Yeah, I don't know. I did really like it. I think it's just starting to get old and starting to dry out a little bit. Yeah, not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet. And then lastly, I had a few different lip products here. The first thing is from Huda Beauty. This is the Lip Contour 2.0 in the shade Honey Beige. I did use this a couple of times, but honestly, I was mostly reaching for my lip liner that's in my Shop My Stash right now, the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. I think this is really pretty. I just think that if I were to use this, I'd have to go in with like a lipstick or completely fill in my lips with this, and that's not what I typically go for. I feel like this color is just a little bit too deep for what I was going for, and I feel like the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner just matched my natural lips a lot better, matched the other products that I was going on with on top of this a little bit better. I didn't bring any lipsticks to New York that were like full pigment, so I think that's part of the reason why I didn't use this as much as I could have. I just think I've been reaching for my NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner a lot more. I also picked out my Tower 28 Shine On Lip Jelly in the shade Spicy, which I am obsessed with. I loved having this in my Shop My Stash. I feel like I got a really good amount of usage out of this. I think the color is beautiful. I think it's so comfortable, and I have just really been liking it. I used this like a couple times throughout the month, and it was one of my favorites that I mentioned in my February favorites and fails. I just think it's so good, and I'm so happy that I had this in my Shop My Stash. I just could not stop wearing it when I was doing like a more glam makeup day. I just feel like it is so pretty and so comfortable, and really like you can't go wrong with it, you know? It's just so good. And then the last thing I had in there is this from Clinique. This is the Almost lipstick in the shade Black Honey. I put this in there because I am literally so close to being done with it. I have been working on this for quite a while now, just kind of like behind the scenes, and I finally put it in my Shop My Stash last month because I really want to finish this. I really like this. I think it's a great color for me. I think it's not too pigmented, so I can put this on without using a mirror, and I don't feel like I'm getting it everywhere. This is like a little mini size of it, so I'm not too surprised that I'm almost done with it, but I feel like as a like gloss lover, it is quite surprising to me that I'm almost done with a bullet type of product. That being said though, I think this is a great product. I loved having this in my Shop My Stash, and honestly I'm probably gonna put it in my Shop My Stash again just because I really feel like I can finish it in this next month. It's so close. It's so close. I'm really happy with the progress I made on this. I'm excited to see what this next month is going to do for me in terms of this product. That is everything that I had in my basket for last month. I'm going to put these items away and then show you guys my collection and pick out some new items for the month of March. Like I said, I do have a work trip planned for Texas, so I'm definitely gonna keep that in mind when picking out some products. And I think that's the only really like event I have in March, so let's just switch cameras, get into it. Okay, I apologize in advance because the lighting is a little bit off because it is getting quite dark out. It is getting later in the day, so I'm sorry, but let's pick out some new products. I don't think I picked out an eyeshadow palette last month, so I feel like we should pick one out this month. And I know I want to go with one of my Alicia palettes, but I'm not sure if I want the glitter one or the olive browns one. They're both so stunning. I think I'm gonna go with the Glitterpedia olive glitter one just because I feel like I haven't made a ton of use out of this, and I haven't really tried these like other glitters that much besides this like middle chunky one, so I feel like this is the perfect time to do that. So I'm gonna pull out this one. All right, favorite drawer time. As always, these are all of my bronzers and contours, powder blushes, cream blushes, stick formulas mostly, but a few like compacts that don't fit in these ones. Mostly creams. Well, all of these are creams, and then setting sprays too. As far as bronzers, I think I'm gonna go with this one from Rare Beauty. This is the, I don't know what the full name is. It's their bronzer stick in the shade Happy Soul. This is quite warm for me, honestly, so I don't love it, but since I am going to Texas and I feel like it's gonna be really hot, I'm kind of in the mood for something a little bit more warm, and I do have it, so I want to make sure to get some use out of it. So I am going to go with this one. I also feel like I haven't used this in a while. So then as far as blush goes, I'm not quite sure because I do have the Euphoria blush in my project pan right now. I want something that like kind of complements it, but I don't know exactly what. You can see my powder blushes are a little bit excessive because they don't all fit in this container anymore. I think I'm just gonna go with this one from ColourPop. This is the pressed powder blush, but it's in the shade Prairie Air. It's this very cool toned pink. I think it'll match the Euphoria blush quite well. Like I said, I am gonna be traveling, and for this blush specifically, I'm not too worried about like accidentally breaking it because it wasn't super expensive. This next drawer is all of my face palettes, highlighters, and primers. I'm not going to pick out a primer because I have one in my project pan. I also have a highlighter in my project pan, so I'm not going to pick anything out from this drawer actually. And then this drawer are all of my base products, so the center part is all my foundations, concealers, powders. I have the Merit the Minimalist stick in my project pan, which acts as my foundation and concealer, so I'm not gonna pick one out. Actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. I kind of want one. I'm gonna go with my Tower 28 concealer. I just missed this. I want to use it. So I am gonna pull this out, and then I'm gonna use my Merit the Minimalist stick as my foundation. And as far as powders go, I'm just gonna stick with my Rare Beauty powder. I really want to make more use out of that, so I'm not gonna pick out a powder. This next drawer are eyeliners, brow products, and eyeshadow, single shadow things, and I don't think I'm gonna pick anything out because I feel like the Unleashia Glitterpedia palette will have all of my eyeshadow toppers that I could want. Maybe I'll pick this out too. This is from Laura Mercier. This is the Caviar Eye Stick in the shade Au Naturel. It is really just like an eyeshadow base, and maybe if I'm feeling up for it, I can just use this as a base for any of the glitter toppers that I want. This is a little mini size of the Caviar Eye Stick as well. And then in terms of lip liners and lip glosses, I don't think I'm going to pick anything out because I do have the lip liner in my project pan, and I have my Kaja gloss in my project pan as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pick anything extra. I think those two will be just fine for this next month. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know this month isn't like super exciting, but I feel like I went a little bit overboard last month, so I probably don't even need all of these products. I'm not even quite sure I'm going to use this, but I wanted to pick it out just in case. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.